Thank you, Prabhu. Thank
Thank
you
you,
very
Pratik.
much. All right. I will start. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरं। हरिः ओम तत्सत्। Fantastic, very nice. Thank you for the presentation. So, as in how I am speaking and sharing the details from the seventh canto, various chapters. Accordingly, we will be displaying the pictures here for all of us to, imagine, relish, understand the pastimes which I mentioned. So, Srimad Bhagavatam, the the ultimate treatise written by Vyasadev. The seventh canto is showcasing the pastimes of Lord Narasimhadeva and his dear devotee Prahlad Maharaj. So, uh, the entire canto 7, skanda or canto 7, is dedicated for Prahlad Maharaj and Lord Narasimhadeva's pastimes. And of course, in the end, it concludes with certain teachings of Narada Muni for all the four varnas and the four ashramas. So, the first chapter of the seventh canto, it talks about a confusion of Yudhishthir Maharaj. Yudhishthir Maharaj developed a confusion as to, is the Lord partial or is he equal to all? Why did he get this doubt? That was because in the Rajasuya Yagya, Yudhishthir Maharaj performed the Rajasuya Yagya, and after that, in that assembly, they had to perform an Agra Puja. Agra Puja is a puja, the first puja which is offered to the most prominent personality. And everybody, all the rishis, munis, and all the great kings there, they accepted Krishna as the supreme lord and the most prominent personality in the entire universe. So he should be offered the Agra Puja. And after that Agra Puja, during that Agra Puja, although everybody was okay, but Shishupal had a problem. Shishupal saw that, mm, Shishupal was always envious of Krishna because Shishupal was his cousin and from the same family, but he was very envious of Lord Krishna. He would always blaspheme. He had some kind of a limitation. If he would cross 100 blasphemies, then he would be killed. So he would always blaspheme 99 times and then he would stop. But this time during this Rajasuya Yagya, Shishupal went out of control. He started blaspheming Lord Krishna left, right, center. Although all the rishis, all the sages, all the great kings accepted him as a supreme lord, Shishupal started blaspheming. He was saying that, he is neither a Kshatriya, he is neither a Brahmana, he ran away from the battlefield, he can never be a Kshatriya, he can never fulfill himself as a Vaishya because he never had any qualities of Vaishya. So that way, actually, it is a reality. By the mercy of Saraswati, all the blasphemy that Shishupal was, using, that was actually glorifying Lord Krishna. In reality, those words were choice poetry, which was used for glorifying Krishna. Although unknowingly he was glorifying Krishna, which was later revealed by our Vaishnava acharyas by the mercy of the Saraswati. But Shishupal was directly blaspheming Lord Krishna. And during this time, Krishna kills Shishupal by his Sudarshan Chakra, and the Atma of Shishupal enters into the body of Lord Krishna, it merges into the body of Lord Krishna. This vision was seen by everybody, including Yudhishthir Maharaj. Then Yudhishthir Maharaj, yes, beautiful, this is the picture. So when Krishna killed Shishupal, Yudhishthir was also present, and everybody was surprised. How can a demoniac person, how can a sinful, blasphemous person, how is it possible for him to actually become liberated? How could he merge into the body of Lord Krishna? It's impossible because the Shastra says, Nindam Bhagavata Shrunvams Tatparasya Janasya Va Tato Napaiti Hasopi Yatyo Yato Adho Sukrutachyutah. That means Nindam Bhagavata Shrunvams. That means simply by hearing the Ninda of the Supreme Lord or his devotees. Tat parasya janasya va tato napaiti iha sopi yati adho sukrata. They will lose all their sukriti, all pious credits, and they go to hell. Adhogati, they go to hell. Nindam kurvanti je mudha vaishnavanam mahatmanam patanti pitrabhir sardham maharaurava samnite. They go fall into maharaurava naraka along with their pitriganas, all their forefathers. They go to hell simply by offending the Supreme Lord or his devotee. How is it possible that Shishupala, even after blaspheming, how is it possible that he merged into the body of Lord? Merging basically means he got liberation. So Narada says, this is a conversation between Yudhishthir and Narada. Narada is asking questions to Yudhishthir is asking questions to Narada, saying, "How is it possible? So is the Lord partial or is he equal to all?" So Narada says, निन्दनास्तव सत्कार न्यक्कारार्थं कलेवरं प्रधान प्रय प्रधान परयो राजन् अविवेकेन कल्पितम्. The Lord is not affected by ninda or stava, that is blasphemy or glorification or satkara or nekarartham. Nekarartham is neglecting. Satkara is welcoming and appreciating. So the Lord is not affected by all these things. Only the jivas, the baddha jivas in this world, they are the ones who are affected. Himsa tad abhimanena danda parushyor yatha vaishamyam iha bhutanam mamaham iti parthiva. The jivas in this world, they are the ones, himsa tad abhimanena, they are caught in the bus in the concept of body life, and they are the ones who are affected by all these dualities of love, hatred, heat, cold, man, apaman, and all of that. But the Lord is not affected because the Lord is beyond the three modes. He is gunatita. तस्माद्वैराणुबन्धेन निर्वैरेण भयेन वा स्नेहात् कामेन वा युञ्ज्यात् कथञ्चित् नेक्षते पृथक्. It is said, what is the nature of the Lord? What is the transcendental quality of the Lord? How does the Lord feel? It is said that Vairānubandhena nirvairena bhayena va snehat kamena va yunjat kathanchana na ikshate prithak. The Lord does na ikshate means to see. Prithak means difference. The Lord does not see any difference between what? Between Vairanubandhena, somebody who's a Vairi, who's acting as an enemy. The Lord does not see any difference between somebody who is a Nirvaira, that means who is a friend, somebody who is having fear of the Lord, somebody who is envious of the Lord, somebody who has love for the Lord, who has sneha for the Lord, who has kama for the Lord. So the Lord doesn't see any difference in these emotions because all emotions in relationship to the remembrance of the Lord is accepted by Krishna. This is the answer. That means the relationship of Krishna and Shishupala was that Shishupala was looking at the Lord and remembering the Lord, although it was in an envious mode. It was unfavorable for Shishupal, but for the Lord, he does not discriminate. Na ikshate prathag. He does not see any difference because he is not bound by the bodily concept of life where he experiences duality. That is why it is said, कामाद्वेषाद् भयात् स्नेहात् यथा भक्तेश्वरे मनः आवेशतद् अघं हित्वा भवस्तद् गतिं गताः. That means kamat, out of love. If somebody loves, like the gopis love Krishna. Dveshad, out of envy, hatred, like Shishupal. Bhayat, out of fear, like Kamsa. Snehat, out of love, like the Pandavas. Yata Bhakteshwara, like devotees like Narada who have natural bhakti towards the Supreme Lord. Aveshadat agam hitva bhavastad gadagatim. So all of these people, they attain liberation because they are all having some relationship where they are able to remember the Supreme Lord. So remembrance of the Supreme Lord is very important. Then Narada says, Gopyakamat bhayat kamso dveshat chaidyadayo nripaha sambandha vrishnayah snehat yuyam bhaktya vayam vibho कतमोपि न वेण स्यात् पञ्चानां पुरुषं प्रति तस्मात् केनाप्युपायेन मन कृष्ण निवेशयेत्. Narada says, Gopyakamat, gopis out of kama, out of intense love, conjugal love for Lord Krishna. Gopyakamat, bhayat comes out of fear. Dvesha, chaidya, chaidya Raja is Shishupal. So Dvesha, chaidya. That means Chaidya Raja out of enviousness. He was actually relating himself with Lord Krishna. Dvesha, chaidya, dayon nripaha, sambandha, vrishnayaha. The Vrishnis, the family of Lord Krishna, the Yadu Vamsha, the Vrishnis, they were able to relate to Krishna in familial relationship. Sambandha Vrishneha Sneha Dyuyam Bhaktya Swayam Vibho. Whereas the Bhaktas, out of Sneha, out of love, natural attraction for Lord Krishna, like Narada or the Pandavas, they had natural attraction for Krishna. All of them, they could remember the Supreme Lord in their different emotions, and they all got liberated. But another example one may ask, but there was a king called as Vena. Vena was very sinful. He was also envious of the Lord. But why was he not liberated? The answer is Katamopina Vena Syat Panchanam Purusham Prati. Like these other five people, like Gopis, the Kan, the Chedi Raja, the Kamsa, the Vrishnis, the Pandavas, Vena was not able to remember the Supreme Lord. He could not remember. Although he was envious, he only focused on his own selfishness. He could not remember the Lord in any of these relationships. That is why he couldn't get liberation. He went to hell. That is why the conclusion is Tasmat Kenapyupayena Mana Krishna Niveshayet. Somehow or other, one has to invest his mind in remembering the Supreme Lord. Yena kena prakarena mana Krishna niveshayet. That means somehow or the other, by hook or crook, one should try to remember the Lord. Of course, by envy, by hatred, by fear, it is a very unfavorable way of remembering the Lord. The best way is to remember the Lord by favorable devotional service. That is very important. Then Narada tells Yudhishthir Maharaj that यथा वैराणुबंधेन मर्त्यस्तन्मयतां यात् न तथा भक्ति योगेन इति मे निश्चिता मतिः. So Narada is telling yatha vairanu bandhena, out of vairi, out of enviousness, out of enmity, Kamsa and Shishupal and Jarasandha, they were all able to remember Krishna. But look at me, I'm so unfortunate. Na tata bhakti yogena iti me nischita mati. But although I'm practicing bhakti yoga, I'm not able to remember. Of course, out of humility that Narada was telling Yudhishthira that I am not able to remember, but whereas the demons they were able to remember the Lord continuously. Out of fear, Kamsa was remembering. Out of hatred, Shishupal was remembering. But that does not give us a license to practice unfavorable relationship. But one should always try to have a favorable devotional relationship with the Supreme Lord. Then Narada also gives another wonderful example. What is the science of remembrance? Because in the Bhagavad Gita also this science comes. It says, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tijatante kalevram tam tam eva iti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavitaha. That means at the time of death, anybody who remembers whatever form or whatever thing, he definitely becomes that. Because at the time of death, whatever we remember, our consciousness takes that form, that shape. It is the mental power that gives us that physical form. In the same way, Narada tells Yudhishthira, Kitapeshaskrida Ruddha Kudyayam Tam Anusmaram Vindate Sambram
Recording in progress.
योगेन विन्दते तत्स्वरूपताम् एवं कृष्णे भगवति माया मनुज ईश्वरे पूतेन पूतेन पाप्मानं तमापुर अनुचिन्तयन्. He says that Kid Peshas Kridarudha Kudyayam Tamanusparam. There's a insect called as wasp. The wasp, it captures the smaller insects and it traps them in the hole of walls, and it binds them with some kind of a jelly substance like a web, and the insect cannot escape. And that insect, out of fear, sambramba bhaya yogena vindate tat swarupatam. Because out of fear, it is thinking about the wasp always, and it gives up its body, and in the next life, that insect which is caught by the wasp, it becomes a wasp. This is the science of evolution. Probably Darwin may have stolen all the science of evolution from us, but the reality, this is documented in the Shastra how actually evolution happens. Whatever is our consciousness at the time of death, the same form we also attain. So the conclusion is evam Krishne Bhagavati Maya Manuja Ishware Putena Papmanah Tamapuranachintayan. In the same way, if somebody remembers Lord Krishna at the time of death, he will attain the same Swarupa as Lord Krishna. That happened with Kamsa, with Shishupal, and other demons. Krishna killed so many demons like Putana, Aghasura, all of them. So they all attained beautiful forms like Lord Krishna in the spiritual world just because of remembering the Lord at the time of death. So this is the benefit. So this way, Narada concludes saying that it is because of the remembrance of Lord Krishna at the time of death, Shishupala, liberated. And then Narada also tells the background of who Shishupal is. Shishupal is not different from Shishupal and his friend Dantavakra. They are not different from Jay and Vijay, because Jay and Vijay were the two doorkeepers of Lord Narayana in Vaikuntha planet, and they were cursed by the four Kumaras, the Chatush Kumaras, Sanak, Sanandan, Sanatan, Sanat Kumar. They were the sons of Brahma. They happened to go to Vaikuntha at one point of time, and they were blocked. And because of that, they were upset and they cursed Jai Vijaya, the doorkeeper, saying that you don't deserve to be here because you don't know how to recognize Brahmanas, you don't know how to respect them, you don't allow them to meet Lord, so you are not qualified. You're not qualified at all to actually, stay in this Vaikuntha planet. So I curse, both of you to become demons and go down to the Bhuloka in the material sky. And that is how, of course, this was an orchestration by the Supreme Lord so that, he could fight with them. So that way, Jai Vijaya, they actually get three births as demons. The first birth is that of Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. The second birth is that of Ravana and Kumbhakarna. The third birth is that of Shishupal and Dantavakra. So this is how the story of Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu starts. So Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu are born to Kashyapa. Kashyapa is the grandson of Brahma. So Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, the great grandsons of Brahma, the creator of this universe. So they are demoniac because they were conceived at a very wrong time. If you want to know the details, you can watch this Narsimha Avatar movie. You'll come to know about that. Of course, you can also buy Srimad Bhagavatam. That full details are given, how they were born, what time they were conceived, and why they become demons, how consciousness is very important. All of that is there. So I cannot cover all of that. It will be a very summary of this seventh canto only. So Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu are brothers. Hiranyaksha is killed by Varahadev because Hiranyaksha submerges this Bhumandala into Garbha ocean. Garbha ocean is the water which is at the bottom of the universe. And then because of that, Varahadev comes and he kills Hiranyaksha because he is very much puffed up. He was proud of his strength and he is destroyed and is killed. And because of that, Hiranyakashipu goes into lamentation mode, and his sister-in-law is crying, his mother is crying that they have lost Hiranyaksha, Vishnu has killed him. So although Hiranyakashipu is very envious and he hates Vishnu, but he speaks some spiritual knowledge in the second chapter actually of the seventh canto. Hiranyakashipu is speaking spiritual transcendental knowledge, saying that don't worry, Hiranyaksha is not killed, he's not the body, he's the spirit soul. We get our destination according to our karma and this and that. So many things, Bhagavad Gita knowledge he speaks, but he himself never practices it. Yeah, here's a picture of Varahadev killing, slaughtering Hiranyaksha and re-establishing Mother Earth in her orbit. So this is what happens. And then Hiranyaksha is lamenting, crying. Sorry, Hiranyakashipu is lamenting for the death of his brother, but at the same time trying to pacify and console his sister-in-law and mother. And then he decides to kill Vishnu. Of course, nobody can kill Vishnu, but Hiranyakashipu was thinking that he can kill Vishnu. So he goes into meditation mode. He performs tapasya for several thousands of years. But his tapasya is detected by the devatas and they try to discourage and they don't allow him to do it. And in the form of parrots, Narada and Parvata Muni, they go and disturb him. They chant Narayana, 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 and the Hiranyakashipu is disturbed in his penance, and he gets up and he walks away. He goes to his house, and then he has a relationship with his wife. And when he is associating with his wife, he's thinking about those two parrots, and his mind is filled with Narayana, Narayana, Narayana always. So, because of the remembrance of the Lord, and when his wife conceived because of their association, a wonderful, pure devotee of the Lord appeared because his consciousness was God consciousness at the time of conception. And then he again goes into penance because he has the goal of killing Vishnu. So the second time he performs ghor tapasya, as you can see in the picture, he performs very terrible penances where he stops breathing also because of stopping to breathe because of his yogic power. There is fire coming out of his head, and that fire creates scorching heat in the entire universe, and it is burning everybody, all the devatas and Lord Brahma and Shiva. They're all scared. They all go to Lord Vishnu. They're praying. And the Lord tells them, do not worry, I will come. I will come, I'll appear. And and at the same time, Hiranyakashipu for several years, he 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 performs meditation keeping in mind Lord Brahma. He's worshipping Lord Brahma. He becomes a Brahma devotee and he's worshipping Lord Brahma. And after several thousands of years, his body is covered in anthill. His body is eaten up by the ants. He is only in bones, and his Atma takes shelter in the bones, like you can see in this picture. His Atma is taking shelter in the bones. And then Brahma appears, and then he sprinkles water, and he has a very beautiful form. Then Brahma says, what do you want? Why are you performing so much ghor tapasya? What's stop it? Then Hiranyakashipu says, my lord, I want to become immortal. Please give me that benediction. Brahma says, I'm myself not immortal. How is it possible that I can make you immortal? It's not possible. Then Hiranyakashipu thinks, let me trick Brahma. So, out of trick, he thinks that I can become immortal. So, he says, I ask for benediction that I should not be killed inside any house, outside any house, neither in the sky nor on the ground. I should not killed by any astra, any shastra. I should be killed by any man or an animal. I should not be killed by any human being. I should not be killed by living entity. I should not be killed by non-living entity. And the list goes on and on and on, thinking that that will make him immortal. And Brahma says, all right, what can I do? Tatastu. And he blesses him. And then after that, Hiranyakashipu thinks that I have now become very powerful. I have become immortal. Nobody can kill me. Now I will teach a lesson to Vishnu. I know how to murder him. First of all, I have to arrest all the demigods. He takes over the entire universe. He'll arrest all of them. He will make them bandhis. And then he will also destroy all the Vedic rituals that are being practiced by the Brahmanas. He'll slaughter all the cows because the Vedic rituals, the Brahmanas, the cows, they're all very dear to Lord Vishnu. नमो ब्राह्मण्य देवाय गो ब्राह्मण हिताय च जगद हिताय कृष्णाय गोविंदाय नमो नमः. Hiranyakashipu was thinking that Lord Vishnu gets all his power from these Vedic rituals, the oblations which are offered by the Brahmanas to the demigods, and the demigods are empowering Lord Vishnu, and the cows are empowering the yagyas because of ghee, milk, and all of that. So he thought, let me wipe out everything. This is how he plans. He makes all the demigods his servants. They're all servants in his palace, and simply by the raising of his eyebrow, he can bring, rain or water or cool temperature or heat or whatever whenever he wants. Summer became winter, winter became summer, and all the sinful people were going to the heavens, and all the pious people were being sent to hell. So much of chaos was there, all because Hiranyakashipu had taken the position of Brahma, and he was controlling all the demigods. Although he couldn't control certain personalities like Lord Shiva, Brahma, and Narada, they all kept quiet. They were just watching the fun because they knew that Lord soon will appear and then he will destroy Hiranyakashipu. So they were waiting for it.
Putra.
So you can all mute.
Okay.
You can all mute. Hare Krishna. Or you can, the admin can probably mute. And then after all this austerities, after all this terrorizing the universe, the third chapter and the fourth chapter speaks about how Hiranyakashipu becomes immortal and he terrorizes the universe and controls all the demigods and destroys all the brahmanas and the cows. Then finally, his son was also born at that time. When he returns back home, his son is born. Now, what happened when he was performing the penance? His wife Kayadu, who was bearing his child Prahlad, she was actually kidnapped by the demigods headed by Indra. They thought the demon son will be a greater demon, so let us slaughter him and kill him. But Narada intervenes and he says, no, 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 do not do that. There is a great soul, there's a pure devotee who is taking shelter in the womb. Do not slaughter, because he was conceived because Hiranyakashipu was thinking about Lord Narayana. And then Narada takes Kayadu, the wife of Hiranyakashipu, to his ashram, and he speaks about pure devotional service. He speaks about Bhagavad Katha. And although Kayadu was not so very attentive to his teachings, Prahlad, who was there in the womb, he was very attentive to all this and he was hearing all of that. And this also tells us how important it is for mothers who have conceived, who are child. They should also be very conscious of what they are hearing, what they are listening, and what they are eating, because that has an influence on the consciousness of the child who will be born. If we are very agitated, we are watching a television, radio, and eating all kinds of obnoxious things, then the child will be like a demon. But if the mother is hearing Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavata, hearing bhajans, katha, and eating very nice sattvic prasadam, then the child will be very saintly and he'll be a devotee. So this is how Prahlad was born. So Prahlad learned all his transcendental spiritual knowledge from Narada Muni. And then when Prahlad is there in the palace, Hiranyakashipu returns back from his penance, and then Prahlad is actually um, admitted in the international school for the demons run by Shand and Amarka, who are the sons of Shukracharya, who is the Rajaguru or the Guru for the demons. So his sons, Shand and Amarka, they were running a school for all the demons. So he was enrolled in that. So Prahlad Maharaj was nowhere interested in that, because they were teaching all political science, they were teaching all kinds of, and that was a very beautiful shloka. We'll come to that shloka. Brahmanya Shila Sampanna, you can come back to that. So, Prahlad Maharaj was being taught all political science, all diplomacy, and kutinati, how to, trap enemies through Sama, Veda, Dana, Danda, all of this. But Prahlad was nowhere interested in all this nonsense. So he was being all taught. But Prahlad Maharaj had very transcendental qualities. Some of his transcendental qualities are mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, beginning with that shloka. Bra- Brahmanya, Brahmanya Sampanna, Satyasandho Jitendriya, Atmavat Sarvabhutanam, Ekapriya Suhrittamaha, दासवत् सन्नतार्याङ्गृहे पितृवद्दीन वत्सला भ्रातृवत् सदृशे स्निग्धो गुरुष्व ईश्वर भावना विद्यार्थारूप जन्माढ्यो मानस्तंभ विवर्जितः. It means Brahmanya. Prahlad Maharaj had all Brahminical qualities. What are Brahminical qualities? Brahminical qualities are like Shamodama, Tabah, Shaucham, Kshantirarjavam, Evacha, Jnana, Vijnana, Astikyam, Brahma, Karma, Swabhavajam. Control of mind, control of senses is called as Shamodama. Then he had Kshanti, he was forgiving, he was very merciful. Arjavam, simplicity. Tapaha, he would perform austerities. Shaucham, he was always clean. Then Gnana Vijnana, he had practical knowledge of devotional service. Astikyam, he was God fearing, godly, lover of God, he was a devotee. These are all Brahminical qualities. Shila Sampanna. Shila Sampanna means all his Shila, all his transcendental qualities. He had very good qualities. Satya Sandho, he was always truthful, he never lied. Jitendriya, his senses were in under control. Atmavat Sarva Bhuteshu, he treated all the living entities just like one would want everyone else to treat me. So we want everybody to treat us very nice. So Prahlad Maharaj would treat same way like we want everyone to treat us. So he would treat everybody very lovingly. Ekapriya Suhritama. So that way he would treat them with a lot of love. Dasavat Sarnatarya. So he acted like a servant to those who were seniors in age and in spiritual knowledge. Pitravad Vatsala. Those who were subordinate, he acted like Pitra, like a father. Bhratravat Sadrishe Snigdho. Those who were his equals, he acted like brother. And then Gurushva Ishvara Bhavana. He considered all his gurus like the Supreme Lord. Just like Narada, he didn't consider Narada as just Guru. He considered him as Ishvara Bhavana, like as good as the Supreme Lord. Then Vidyartha Rupa Janmadhyo Manastham Varjitaha. That means although he had all the knowledge, Vidya, Artha, wealth, Rupa, beauty, Janmadhya, he was born in a greatest demoniac family. He was free from, pride, Manasthamba Vivarjitaha. He was free from pride, arrogance, all of that. Because generally, Janma Ishwara Shruta Shribher, it gives a lot of pride. So, Prahlad Maharaj had these transcendental qualities, although he was born in a demoniac family. Apart from that, also, he had many other transcendental qualities like there's one verse in Bhagavatam which says न्यस्तक्रीडनको बालो जडवन्मनस्तया कृष्णग्राहगृहीतात्मा न वेद जगदीदृशम्. न्यस्तक्रीडनको बालो. He was nowhere interested in krida, like play games, cricket, football. All this nonsense was not played by Prahlad. He was nowhere interested in it. He was न्यस्तक्रीडनको बालो. Jadavattan manastaya. And then Krishna Graha Grihitatma. He was haunted by a ghost. Prahlad Maharaj was haunted by a ghost. It is called as Graha. Graha means ghost. He was haunted by a ghost called as Krishna consciousness. That means he was haunted by the consciousness of always remembering Krishna. That was the ghost he was haunted by. That's why he's called as Krishna Graha Grahit Atma. Krishna ghost controlled Atma. Krishna Graha Grahit Atma. So he was always Magna in Krishna. That was his nature. नोद्विग्न चित्तो व्यसनेषु निस्पृहा श्रुतेषु दृष्टेषु गुणेषु वस्तुदृक् दान्तेन्द्रिय प्राण शरीरधि सदा प्रशांत कामो रहितासुरोऽसुराः. Rahitasurosuraha. Although he was born in Asura family, he was free from all the demoniac qualities. He had transcendental qualities. He had no dvigna. He had no agitation at all. He was completely peaceful. He was peaceful in Vyasaneshu. Vyasaneshu means although there were so many troubles in his life, he was always peaceful in all the time. We will come to that, how he was actually troubled by his father. Then you'll know, how he was so peaceful. So these are the qualities of Prahlad Maharaj. Let's go to the directly to Hiranyakashipu. So Hiranyakashipu, once upon a time, he it is said that he called Prahlad. I want bring Prahlad in front of me. Ekada surarat putram ankam aropya pandava papracha kathyadam vatsa manyate sadhu yad bhavan ekada surarat. This Asura, the king of the Asuras, he called Prahlad, come, and then Ankamaropya, he made him sit on his lap, and then he asked, Manye sadhu yad bhavan. Tell me what is the best thing that you have learned? What is that sadhu thing that you have learned in your school? Because Hiranyakashipu was expecting that he will speak something about diplomacy or some political science or something. But Prahlad was not like that, because he had learnt everything, all transcendental knowledge from his guru Narada. So Prahlad says, Tat sadhu manye suravarya dehinam sada samudvigna dhiyam sadgrahat hitpatmapatam grihamanda kupam vanam gato yad harimashrayeta. So Prahlad is saying, Tat sadhu manye, the best thing that I learned is asuravarya dehinam, oh best of the asuras. He says, Sada samudvigna dhyam asadgraha. Those who are in asadgraha, those who are always in the temporary bodily concept of life, me, my wife, my house, my children, that concept, they are always udvigna. They are always agitated. They are always disturbed. They are always in anxiety. Sada samudvigna dhyam asadgraha. And what should they do? Hitpatam padam grihamanda kupam. They should give up this family life, and then vanam gato yada harimashrayet. They should go to vana and meditate on Hari. They should take shelter of Lord Vishnu. Hearing this, Hiranyakashipu becomes very angry, because Vishnu is his enemy. He performed all his austerities and penances to kill Vishnu. And his son, here he is speaking of Vishnu. So he controls his anger and he starts laughing. Ha 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 ha. He he actually, it is said, Jahasa buddhir baladam bhidyate parabuddhibihi. He laughs. Jahasa means to laugh. Jahasa buddhir balanam. The brain of my child has been spoiled by parabuddhi bihi. Other people have actually spoiled the brain of my child. He says, Shutva putra giro. Shutva putra giro daitya parapaksha samahita. So basically, the parapaksha, the enemies, the Vaishnavas, the devotees of Lord Vishnu, they have spoiled the brain of my child. So Hiranyakashipu tells Shandan Amarka, you have not been very careful. You have not been very careful. I warn you, keep my son away from the enemies. Take him back now. And now give him protection. Teach him properly. Make him forget all that nonsense that he learned about devotion and Vishnu and all that crap nonsense. Take him, be careful. And then he sends them. And then Shandan Amarka, they take Prahlad Maharaj and they ask him, वत्स प्रह्लाद भद्रं ते सत्यं कथय मामृषा बालानति कुतस्तुभ्यं एष बुद्धिर्विपर्ययः. What's Prahlad Bhadram te? Let all auspiciousness be unto you, Prahlad. What is this nonsense that you have learned? Where did you learn it from? Esha buddhir viparyayah. We have taught you something, but you have learned something viparita, something opposite. What is that? How did you learn this? Where did you get this, all this? Then Prahlad doesn't open his mouth. Then they'll say, Bhanyatam Shotukamanam. So Bhanyata means, speak up, or else, we will beat you. So that way they threaten him. Then Prahlad folds his hand. He says, Paraswaschete sadgraha pumso yanmaya krita vimohitam dhyam drishtas tasmai bhagavate namaha. Then Prahlad says, oh, these terminologies of enemy, friend, love, hatred, all these dualities I had heard till now. These are all Maya Shakti of the Supreme Lord. Vimohita dhyam drishtas tasmai bhagavate nama. Till now I had heard it, but today I am also seeing it practically. I had only heard about it. Because Shandan and Amarka were talking about, who is that enemy who told you and this and that. But Prahlad didn't see any friend or enemy. He saw everybody as friend, Suhrittama, because he saw everybody as the children of the Lord. He saw everybody equally. He didn't see any enemy. It was Shandan, Amarka, and his father, they were seeing enemies. So that way, Prahlad didn't have that consciousness. So this way, Shan and Amarka, they try to train him, and Prahlad Maharaj keeps quiet. And then finally, after a certain time, again, they take Prahlad Maharaj in front of Hiranyakashipu the second time. So this time again, Hiranyakashipu asks, what is that best thing that you have learned? Then Prahlad says, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnor Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atma Nivedanam. How one should render devotional service to the Supreme Lord. The Navavidha Bhakti of hearing Vishnu, speaking about Vishnu, chanting his glories, doing kirtan, remembering the Lord. Archana, Vandana, Dasya, Sakhya, Atma Nivedana, completely surrendering to the Lord. Hearing this, Hiranyakashipu becomes very angry, very, very angry. And then instead of becoming angry on his child, he calls Shandan Amarka. He says, "You rascal Shandan Amarka, you were supposed to be the teachers of my child and you are supposed to be teaching them about political science and diplomacy. What is this nonsense that you have taught? Where have you, how did you, how have you taught this to our child?" Then Shandan Amarka, they're shaking in their legs, and then they are saying that, we didn't teach him anything. He is naturally attracted to Vishnu. Nobody is teaching him anything. We are always there 24 hours with him, but he is naturally attracted to Vishnu. यथा भ्रामयति अयो ब्रह्मन् स्वयं आकर्ष सन्निधौ तथा मे भिद्यते चेतस चक्र प्राणैर्यदृच्छया. यथा भ्रामयति अयो ब्रह्मन् स्वयं आकर्षण सन्निधौ. Just like iron filing is automatically attracted to magnet, same way this fellow is automatically attracted to Chakrapani, the Lord Vishnu. So we are unable to understand, and he is very, very stubborn. He always wants to remember the Lord. And they give another analogy. They say, Daitya Chandanavane Jato Yam Kantakadruma Yan Mulon Mula Parashor Vishnor Nalayitor Bhakaha. Means that Daitya Chandanavane, they were considering their Kula, the dynasty of the demons, as Chandanavane, the forest of sandalwood. They considered themselves as the forest of sandalwood. And Jatoyam Kantakadruma. But this useless fellow is born like a thorn plant in the forest of sandalwood. And not only that, Yan Mulon Mula Parashor Vishnor Nalaito Arbhaka. This useless child, he has become, the thorn plant has become the handle for the axe called as Vishnu to cut down and chop down the entire dynasty of the demons in the form of sandalwood forest. So this was the analogy. They thought that this was a thorn tree and he'll become the handle of an axe called as Vishnu to destroy our dynasty. So actually, Chandana, the sandalwood trees, they are always infested with snakes, because snakes are cold-blooded animals. They come, they surround. So wherever there is opulence like Chandana, sandalwood, you'll only find snakes, because saintly people do not like to go there. So indirectly, although they were trying to glorify themselves, they were actually talking about their reality, that they were all envious snake-like demons, who had infested this sandalwood forest. And uh, considering Prahlad as axe. So after hearing this, Hiranyakashipu, hearing Shandan Amarka, then this is the first time he becomes angry over Prahlad, and he says, "You rascal, I was thinking that somebody else is spoiling your brain, my enemies or Shandan Amarka. But where have you learned this from? Kuto abhadramati satihi." The words used by Hiranyakashipu is Kuto abhadramati sati. Abhadramati satihi means, oh inauspicious creature, where have you learned all this from? These are the harsh words Hiranyakashipu uses it for Prahlad. He says, Kulangarasya durbuddhe chaturto damaha. That is, he is Kulangara. That means he is come to destroy, set fire to the entire Kula of the demons. And his durbuddhi, his mind, his intelligence is completely destroyed. Chaturto syodito dama. He has to be taught a lesson through damaha. Sorry, that is the fourth order, that is not samaveda dana but by danda. So dama is punishment. So that is how he has to be taught. Then he pushes him. Actually, when he says, where have you learned all this where have you learned all this devotional and Vishnu bhakti and all that, then actually Prahlad Maharaj, he quotes three verses. He speaks about Matirna Krishna Paratasvato Va Mito Bhipadyet Griha Vratanam, all of that, where he says that, those who are uncontrolled in their senses, they can never understand the Supreme Lord. Then he says, Nate Vidu Swarthagatim He Vishnur, the Andha Yathandar Upaniyamana, those who are blind, the blind and the leader of the blind, they all go to hell. And then he says, so long you do not, do abhishek in the dust of the lotus feet of devotees, one can never understand what I am speaking about devotional service or Lord Vishnu. So he says, Naishamatistava durukramangrim sparshatyanarthapagamo yadartha mahiyasham padarajobhishekam Nishkinchana na vrinita yavat mahiyasam padarajo abhishekam nishkinchananam. So unless we do not do abhisheka of the padaraja, the dust of the lotus feet of pure devotee, basically submerging in the dust of the lotus feet of devotee means accepting their instructions and following in the footsteps of devotees, one can understand Lord Vishnu. Until one does not do that, one can never understand. So whatever I am speaking, my father, you will never be able to understand because you are uncontrolled in your senses and you have never taken the shelter of pure devotees. After hearing this, Hiranyakashipu becomes so angry that he pushes Prahlad from his lap. Just a few moments back, he was spelling his head and he was crying tears of affection. But immediately he pushes him and he throws him in one corner. And after that, he orders all his Sainik. He tells all the demoniac soldiers, kill him, murder him, do not allow him to live. So, although there were some of them were very affectionate to Prahlad like his mother, but Hiranyakashipu did not listen to anyone, and they took him. There were hundreds and thousands of ways they attempted to kill Prahlad, but nothing worked. They tried to kill Prahlad by trampling him with mad elephants. Prahlad could not be killed. The elephants, were very respectful to Prahlad. Then he was put in a pit of snakes so that the snakes could bite him. The snakes did not bite him. Then he was tried to be killed by putting him in fire by Holika, who is the sister of Hiranyakashipu. And instead of Prahlad being killed by fire, Holika was burned to death, although she had the benediction that nothing would happen to her in fire. And then he was attempted to be killed by being thrown from the top of a cliff, and he was protected by the Supreme Lord. Nothing happened to him. And then he was put in dungeons where demons would torture him with spears and swords. Nothing would happen to him. So there were all varieties and varieties. We see here, yeah, in the picture you can see there are varieties and varieties of ways of trying to kill and murder him. And Prahlad was not killed, and he was protected at all the time. He was protected all the time. And Hiranyakashipu, for the first time, he developed fear. Till now, he was only angry, but first time he developed fear. He felt मेरे बराबर का कोई टक्कर देने वाला आया है. Like somebody is now equal to me in strength. Nobody is. Till now, he was thinking that I am the most powerful. I have controlled Brahma, Shiva, I have controlled all the demigods. They're all servants, they're all working in my kitchen, and I will decide who will do what. He was so powerful. First time he developed a fear. Such a tiny 5-year-old child. What a power, what a power. Thousands of times attempted to be murdered, but he came unscathed, even not even Baal bhi baka nahi hua. Nothing happened to him. So this created fear in the heart of Hiranyakashipu. He said, who is this fellow? He is just like the tail of a dog. He's stubborn in his bhakti and he's stubborn in his strength also. I don't know what to do with him. And then Hiranyakashipu became silent for a few months. He had no other option. He told Shand and Amarka, all right, at least he is not being very violent towards me. Take him to school. Give another attempt. Let him, learn some politics, some diplomacy, some kutinati, some political science. Take him, give another attempt. But he was always in depression. Hiranyakashipu was very, very depressed. It is said that Sant Yadr Yadrichayopannena santushtas vartate sukham na santushtas tribhir lokar ajitatmopasaditai. It means Yadrichayopannena santushtas vartate sukham. That means if somebody gets anything automatically, if it comes out of its own accord, if he is satisfied, then he is the most happiest person. Yadrichyopapanena santushtas vartate sukham. But na santushthas tribhir lokair ajitatma pasadite. But that fellow who has conquered all the three worlds, but if he is ajitendriya, who has no control on his senses, he will still not be satisfied. So that was the condition of Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu had everything in this world. He had the best of the women, he had the best of the powers, he had the best of the controls, he had everything at his disposal. And just at the lifting of an eyebrow, he had everything. But he was a most dissatisfied, most horrible, wretched creature, and very disturbed, very unhappy, and very fearful now. Whereas Prahlad was completely santushta. Although they attempted to murder him thousands of times, he was blissful, happy, peaceful, and enjoying. And then after that, Prahlad is taken to school. And in the school, during the break time, Prahlad thought it is a good opportunity. My father has pacified, my Shandanamarka teachers has pacified. Let me do some preaching. Till now, I was preaching to myself. Let me preach to others. So during the breaks, he would preach to his demoniac classmates. The demoniac classmates, he would tell, कौमारमाचरे प्राज्ञो धर्मान् भागवतानिह दुर्लभमानुषं जन्म तदप्यध्रुवमर्थदम्. So he's telling them that this Manushya Janma, Durlabho Manusho Deho Dehinam Kshanabhangura, Tatrap Durlabham Manya Vaikuntha Priyadarshanam. The human life is very rare. One should utilize it for worshipping the Supreme Lord. Kaumaram Acharet Pragyo, don't wait till your retirement. Kaumaram means at a very ripe young age, at the age of 3, 4, 5 years old, one should start spiritual life, one should start devotional life. And then he further tells that Sukham Aindriyakam Daitya Deha Yogena Dehinam Sarvatra Labhyate Daivat Yatha Dukkham Ayatnataha. That means Sukham Aindriyakam Daitya. Sukha is already written. Sukham and Deha Yogena Dehinam Sarvatra Labhyate Daivat. According to our Daiva, according to our karma, Sukha will automatically come. Yatha dukkham ayatnataha. Just like how for dukkha we do not do yatna, we do ayatna. And we don't endeavor for dukkha, but dukkha automatically comes. Similarly, we should not endeavor for sukha because sukha will automatically come if it is there in our daiva. Simply you endeavor, but in our karma the happiness is not there, then life is waste, then our energy is also waste. And already happiness is there in our karma and you are still endeavoring, still it is, life is wasted and energy is wasted, because anyway without endeavoring the happiness was supposed to come, but along with that you simply endeavored uselessly because anyway the happiness was supposed to come. That is why happiness and distress will automatically come in one's life according to one's karma. One should not endeavor for it. Then he says, Tat prayaso na kartavyo yata ayuvyaya param na tatha vindade kshemam mukunda charanam bhujam. Tat prayaso na kartavyo. One should never do prayasa because yat ayuvyaya param. One will lose his life and one will lose his energy. And then Na tatha vindade kshema mukunda charanambujam. It does not give us that kshema, that shelter, that protection as much as taking the shelter of the lotus feet of Mukunda. Simply by taking shelter of Mukunda, one gets the protection, shelter, wealth, everything. But that tat prayasa na kartavyo. But the prayasa will not give us anything, any shelter like the way one gets by taking shelter of Lord Vishnu. So, like that, very wonderful teachings, Prahlad Maharaj speaks to his classmates, the demon children. Then he says, Pumsho Varshashatam Yayus Tadardam Chajitatmanaha Nishpalam Tad Asauratriam Shete Andam Prapitastamaha. He says, Pumsho Varshashatam Ayus. There is 100 years. A person has 100 years in his average 100 years. Then tadardham chajitatmanaha nishpalam tadapyaso ratriyam shete. Half of it, 50 years of it goes into sleeping. Ratriyam shete. It goes into sleeping. Half of our life is wasted. 9 to 10 hours every night sleeping, and in the morning 1 or 2 hours sleeping. So total 12 hours of sleeping every day. Out of 24 hours, 12 hours. Out of 100 years, 50 years goes into sleeping only. And then he says, Mugdasya balakaishore kridato yati vimshati jaraya grasta dehasya yate kalpasya vimshati. Mugdasya balakaishore. Balya Kaishorim. In the childhood, 10 years is lost in playing games, cricket, football, this ball, that ball. And then in youth, in youth, in Kaishora, what he does, his time goes in making career, studies, career, job, hunting women, all that. So that way, another 10 years goes away. And then Jaraya Grasta Dehasya Yatya Kalpasya Vimshati. And in Jaraya, in the old age, another 20 years goes in, struggling, walking with a walking stick, struggling, going to the hospital, unable to walk. Every you have to become a burden on others. So that way, in the old age, one is unable to practice bhakti, one is unable to give quality time. So that way, 20 years in old age, 10 years in childhood, 10 years in youthhood, 40 years gone, another 50 years in sleeping, 90 years gone. Only 10 years is left for at our disposal. And now, what do we do with that 10 years? We will completely destroy it because we have unlimited desires. Angam galitam palitam mundam dashana vihinam jatam tundam vridhoyati grihitva dandam kadapi na munchati asha pindam. One has become bald, he's lost his hair, there are no teeth in the mouth, he has a walking stick, but the desires have not gone. Bhogana bhokta vayameva bhokta tapona taptam vayameva tapta kalona jato vayameva jata. Krishna na jirna vayameva jirna. Trishna, desires never become old. Vayameva jirna. The body becomes old. The desires will remain as it is. Like this, Shankaracharya, he quotes so many things in his writings. Shankaracharya also, he says something like, ba- बालस्तावत् क्रीडासक्ता तरुणस्तावत् तरुणीसक्ता अम, वृद्धस्तावत् चिंतासक्ता परमे ब्रह्मणि कोपि न सक्ता. That means, in the age, balastavat krida sakta. When in the childhood, you are attached to playing games, krida. Then tarunastavat taruni sakta. When you are youth, you are interested in the opposite sex. Then vriddhastavat chinta sakta. When you become old age, you are worried, chinta. Oh, where is my money? Will it protect me or not? Do I have sufficient savings, retirement, this, that, suffering with diseases, hospital, all chinta sakta. But parame brahmani kopina sakta. Whereas as far as considering, inquiry, athato brahma jigyasa and the Supreme Lord Parabrahman, no time. Kopi na sakta. So no attachment for that. That way, one wastes 90% of his life. And in that remaining 10% of his life, he'll waste his time in sense enjoyment. It is said, दुरापूरेण कामेन मोहेन च बलीयसा शेषं गृहेषु सक्तस्य प्रमथस्य पयातिः. So the remaining shesham, 10 years, griheshu saktasya, he is attached into the house. Wife, children, house, family, career, car, bangla, holiday. That's it. He'll waste his time in that. So like that, he goes on and on. He says many beautiful things are there. No time to cover all of that. So I'm going to skip all of it. So after all these teachings, then finally, Shandan Amarka think that probably maybe, no, Shandan Amarka think, oh my God, this has gone out of our control. Till now, we were till now only this fellow was a problem for us. Now he has created an army of problems. This is the worst fear. Hiranyakashipu was fearful of one fellow. Now he has created an entire army. All the demon children, they had become devotees. So because of this fear, when they realized, when they found out, because he was doing it during the break times, but when they found out that everybody is chanting Vishnu, everybody is talking about devotional service, they were literally shivering in their hands and legs. They were so scared. They brought him in front of Hiranyakashipu. This is the fourth time they bring Prahlad Maharaj in front of Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu is also trembling now. He had a mix of emotions of fear, anger, hatred. Everything was mixed up, and his lips were trembling. He said, "You rascal! You never stop. You are like just like the tail of a dog. You never stop. Now it was not only you. You have created an army of problems now. Everybody is becoming devotee now. Where are you getting this stubbornness? Where are you getting your energy from? Where is the strength? How are you getting your strength? How is that you are so bold? How is that you are so powerful? How you have become a competitor to me?" Then Prahlad says, "My dear father, I am getting the strength from the same source from where you are getting your strength. Don't think the strength that you are getting is yours. You are getting strength from some source. I am also getting the strength from the same source. Now, who is that source? That is Lord Vishnu. Where is your Vishnu? Now I'll chop and cut your neck. Let me see whether Vishnu will come or not. Then Prahlad says, the Vishnu is everywhere. If he is there everywhere, let me see whether he'll protect you or not. Then he says, is he there in the pillar? Yes, he's there in the pillar. And then he breaks open the pillar. Some say that he hit a fist. Some people say no, he used a gada to break open the pillar. Whatever may be. When the pillar broke open, there was tumultuous trembling of the entire universe. There was vibration, vibrational sound, which which scattered all the elephants in different directions. Elephants had miscarriages. Forget about women. Women obviously had, but even big elephants, they had miscarriages. That was a tumultuous sound, by how Prahlad Maharaj appeared from the pillar. It is told, Prahlad Maharaj in his prayers, he's praying, he's telling, Naham bhibemi ajitate ti bhayanakasya jihvarka netra bhrukuti rabhasogra damstrat. Antra Antra Srija Kshataja Kesharu Shanku Karna Nirhrad Bhiti Digibhat Aribhin Nakhagrat. So Nirhrad Bhiti Digibhat means the elephants, they were running helter skelter after having miscarriages. That was a tumultuous roar of Lord Narasimhadeva, which created fear in the hearts of demigods and demons equally. Even the demigods were very fearful. They got scared. Has the time of pralaya come? Because the entire universe was vibrating with the roar, and the entire palaces were having cracks. So that was a kind of a roar, and they were thinking probably dissolution has appeared. Pralaya time has come. They were all very scared. And then Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, they have a fight. Hiranyakashipu also was also very fearless. He wanted to fight. He saw that, oh, this is only Vishnu. He could recognize, and he wanted to fight and he wanted to kill. And it is said that it was like a cat and mouse game. Lord Narasimha was just playing like a cat, and in reality, he was just allowing Hiranyakashipu to pass on some time for some time. So at the dusk, then Narasimhadev decides to slaughter Hiranyakashipu. Actually, when Lord Narasimhadev appears from the pillar, then very beautiful prayer is told by Shukadev Goswami. Shukadev Goswami says that. स्तंभे what is this स्तंभे सभायां न मृगम न मानुषम. It says vyaptim cha bhuteshu akhileshu chatmanah. Yeah. So it is said that Lord Narasimha, um, he appeared from this from the pillar. uh, where is that? It says, हाँ सत्यम विधातुम निजभृत्य भाषितम व्याप्तिम च भूतेषु अखिलेषु चात्मना अदृश्यता अद्भुत रूपमुद्वहन स्तंभे सभायाम न मृगम न मानुषम. So satyam vidhatum, my devotee nijabhritya bhashitam, my devotee told that I am present in the pillar. So to make it true, satyam vidhatum, the Lord appeared, and he was although the Lord is vyaptim cha bhuteshu, he is present everywhere in all the hearts of all the jivas. He is sarva vyapaka, omnipresent, but he also appeared in the pillar. Vyaptim cha bhuteshu akhileshu chatmanah, now appeared in the pillar also. Adrishyata adbhuta rupam, this wonderful form, a marvelous form, adrishya adbhuta rupa. Adrishya means it was never seen before, unprecedented form. Hmm? Uh, Sthambe sabhayam na mrigam na manusham. He appeared from the pillar. The pillar became the womb of the Supreme Lord's appearance. And then na mrigam na manusham. He was neither a man nor a animal. And then he appeared. He fought with him. And in the end, at dusk, he ripped open Hiranyakashipu. He completely slaughtered him. He took the intestines out of his body and wrapped it around himself as a garland. And not only that, he became so angry even after killing Hiranyakashipu. His anger did not subside, and all the demoniac followers of Hiranyakashipu tried to attack Narsimhadev, and Narsimhadev chopped and killed all the followers of Hiranyakashipu. And in spite of that, his anger did not subside. he was still angry. Then all the demigods headed by Brahma, Shiva, Lakshmi, everyone was scared. They didn't want to go in front of Lord Narasimha. They could not recognize, how Lord could be so angry. Then they all requested, Prahlad, you please go ahead. Then Prahlad goes in front of Narasimha Dev and he offers wonderful prayers, beautiful prayers. We don't have time for those prayers. Maybe one or two I can chant. Yeah. And Prahlad Maharaj says, Brahmadayo. ब्रह्मादयो सुरगण मुनयोत सिद्धा सत्त्वैकतानगतयो वचसां प्रवाहै नारादितुं पुरुगुणैरधुनापि पिप्रु किं तोष्टुमर्हति समे हरिरुग्रजाते. So Prahlad says, Brahmadaya Suragana Munayota Siddha Sattvaikadana Gatayo Vachasam Pravahe. Although Brahma, Shiva, Rudra, Indra, Aditya, Varuna, Vayu, Agni, all these great, they are all, Rishi Muni, all these great souls, they are in Sattva Guna. They are unable to please you. How can I? Kim Toshtum? How can I make you Tushta? Santosha, Tushta, Kim Toshtumarhati Same Hare Ugra Jate. I am born in a Ugra Jati. I am born in a demoniac family. How is it possible for me to offer prayers to you? I'm a demon. I'm born in a demon family. That was the humility of Prahlad Maharaj. He didn't think that, oh, Shiva and Brahma only could please you. I am the great soul. Now I'll please you, my Lord. He didn't think like that. Then he says, the Lord is easily pleased by bhakti. Manye dhanabhijana rupa tapashrutojas tejas prabhava bala paurusha buddhi yogat naradhanaya bhavanti parasya pumso bhaktya tutosha bhagavan gajayutapaya. He says basically, dhana, wealth, abhijana, followers, rupa, beauty, tapa, austerities, teja, prabhava, bala, buddhi, paurusha, yoga, all these things they cannot please the Lord. All our material skills cannot please the Lord. And what can please the Lord? Naradhanaya bhavanti parasapam bhaktya tutosha bhagavan gajayutapaya. It is only through bhakti, just animal who didn't have any skills. Gajayuta means friends. Gajra. He pleased simply offering a Lord delivered. That's why the Gajendra chapter is there in the Bhagavatam. So like that, Prahlad Maharaj goes on. He speaks about Brahmanas, one who is actually born in a dog eater family, but who's born in a Chandala family, who's born lower than a Shudra, but if he becomes a devotee, he can purify his family and can liberate them. But somebody who's born in a Brahmana family but is not a devotee of the Lord, he cannot purify himself and he's degraded and he can never be called as a Brahmana. So, like that, there are many, some 30, 40 prayers which we cannot go into. And then all these are covered up to 1 to 9 chapters. And in the end, the Lord becomes very, very happy and very, very satisfied with Prahlad Maharaj. He says, ask for a benediction. And Prahlad says, my Lord, don't make me a businessman. I have not worshipped you to become a businessman. I'm not interested to do business. I have not worshipped you for some benedictions. I have no desires. I don't want any desires. But the Lord will insist, no, Prahlad, you have to ask for a benediction. Only then, my name will be fulfilled because I am a Varadaraja. I am the giver of benedictions. Then Prahlad Maharaj, he'll ask for benediction. All right, you give me the benediction that I should never ask for benediction. That is the benediction Prahlad asks. That means I should never ask for any material desires. I should never ask for any benediction. That kind of a benediction you give me. And the Lord becomes very pleased with him and he blesses him. All right, let it be so that no material desires are there in you. The Lord also reveals that, I have already delivered your father. Do not worry. Not only he, but 21 generations in the past and 21 generations in the future, all of them will be liberated just because you have become my devotee. So this way, the Lord pacifies Prahlad Maharaj, and everybody is delivered, and then the demigods go back to their positions. Prahlad Maharaj becomes the king, and Prahlad Maharaj is traveling in his kingdom, and then he meets an Avadhuta, and he learns certain lessons from the Avadhuta. So I don't know if we have time for that. So we do not have time for that. And then there is the conversation between Yudhishthira and Narada Muni continues. We should not forget this is a conversation between Narada and Yudhishthira. So Narada and Yudhishthira, they are talking, and Narada Muni is talking about what are the prescribed duties. What are the prescribed duties for the four Varnas and the four Ashramas? The four Varnas are Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and the four Ashramas are brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, and sannyas. So these are the four ashramas and four varnas. And Narad Muni tells what are the qualities of a brahmana, what are the qualities of a kshatriya, what are the qualities of a vaishya, what are the qualities of a shudra, how they should, perform their duties. And he also tells what are the duties of all the people in all the social orders. He speaks about that also. And then he gives very important instructions for everybody to follow. He speaks something basically about self satisfaction. That is the most important thing. The self satisfaction aspect quality should be practiced by all the varnas and all the ashramas. Most important thing. He says, Santushtasya niris Santushtasya nirihasya swatma ramasya yat sukham kutastat kamalobhena dhavato arte hayadishaha. That means Santushtasya, one should be completely satisfied in the heart. Nirihasya, that means he should never endeavor for hard for happiness. Santushtasya nirihas. Swatma ramasya sukham. He should be simply be satisfied in his own self. Then kutastat kama lobhena dhavato arte hayadisha. But those who are disturbed by kama and lobha, dhavato, they run around in all the 14 planetary systems. They can never be satisfied even if they obtain their desired object. Then further he says, Sada Santushta Manasaha Sarva Shivamaya Dishaha Sharkara Kantakadibhyo Yatopanat Padashivam. Sada Santushta Manasaha. Anybody whose heart is completely satisfied, who's completely happy, it is a state of mind. Being happy is completely, being happy is a state of mind. Sada Santushta Manasa. Sarva Shivamaya Disha. He sees all the directions as auspicious. Just like Sharkara Kantakadibhyo Yadopana Padashivam. Just like somebody who's having a shoes in his leg, he's never tormented by thorns, pebbles, stones. In the same way, somebody whose heart is completely satisfied, he is never tormented by kama, greed, lust, desires. He is never tormented. He is completely happy, completely blissful, completely satisfied. It is said that one becomes satisfied simply by taking water. संतुष्टकेन वा राजन् न वर्तितापि वारिणा औपस्त्य जहिवात् कार्पण्यात् गृहपालयते जनाः. I mean, santushtakena varajan. So one who is satisfied, he is vartitapi varina, even simply by water. Vari means water. Simply by drinking water, he is happy. He has no food also. He is not upset, he's not distressed, he's not suffering, he's not crying, he's not cursing the Lord. Oh Lord, why are you putting me in poverty? He doesn't curse. He's completely satisfied because his heart is self-satisfied. So vartitapi varina, even simply by drinking water, he is peaceful. But aupastya jahivar karpanyat, the one who's a servant, who's a kripana, who's a servant of aupastya and jahiva, that is reproductive organ and the tongue. What happens to him? Grihapalayate jana. He is just like a dog. Grihapala means dog. Simply like a dog, he is running around, female dog. That's all. That is the condition of those who are unsatisfied at their heart. So, like that, Narada speaks about how one should actually be self satisfied. These instructions for all grihasthas, vanaprasthas, sannyasis, and brahmacharis. And many other teachings. Narada speaks. He speaks about gurus like Madhukara Mahasarpo Lokesmin Gurottamao Vairagyam Paritosham Cha Praptaya Shikshaya Vayam. The two lessons we learn from Madhukara and Sarpa. Mahasarpa is python. Madhukara is bumblebee. What are the two lessons? From bumblebee, it takes little from different flowers. It collects nectar. In the same way, we should also accumulate little. Don't increase your accumulation, or else it will be a problem. This is the lesson we learn from the bumblebee. Take little. Don't be a burden on the society. Don't beg. Don't become dependent on others. Don't become a burden. Take little. Be satisfied with whatever little we have. Then from Mahasarpa, from Python, what is the lesson we learn? Python does not hunt its animal, its prey. It will simply wait for a month, and if a prey comes close to it, it will eat. The same way, one should never endeavor for livelihood. Automatically, we will be taken care. We should depend on whatever comes of its own accord according to our previous karma. Yadracha labha santushto. Yadrachala Santushto means whatever comes according to its own of its own accord, one should be satisfied with that, without having to endeavor very hard. Then Narada tells, Viragha sarvakamebhyo shikshito me madhuvratat kachraptam madhuvat vittam hatva panyo haret patim. There's another lesson which we learn from Madhu. There's another Madhu called as a honeybee, not the bumblebee. From honeybee, we learn what do Shikshito me Madhuvratat. What is the Shiksha we learn? We learn Vairagya. Why? How do we learn Vairagya? Because that foolish creature, what does it do? What does it do? Krichraptam Madhuvat Vittam. It goes, it collects nectar, it comes, it produces honey, and it creates a honeycomb, and then finally only to be burnt by somebody and killed and destroyed, and all the honey is looted by somebody else. In the same way, one should develop vairagya. Don't become a honeybee. Don't keep on accumulating wealth, property, money, this, that, work hard, and finally when you are rich, then our own husband or wife will murder us because they have some illicit affair, because they have so much wealth. Nowadays we see so much in India, it's happening. And then finally all our wealth is taken away, or if they don't take it away, the government will come and take it away. They will steal all our wealth, or they will say, oh, this is the royal property, now there is no royalty in India, now it is democracy, and they'll take over all the property. They have such laws like that. So we will lose all the wealth. So one should not endeavor, one should learn vairagya from this honeybee. Like that, there are many other instructions are there. I think we do not have time. We will close here. We have another 10 minutes for any questions. So this is how, the teachings for all the four social orders and four spiritual orders are told by Narada to Yudhishthira, and this is how the seventh canto completes. Hare Krishna, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. If you want to learn more about what all is there in all the 12 cantos, you may have to purchase Srimad Bhagavatam. That way you can understand. It's very interesting. One will not feel like stopping it. Once you start reading it, you will become unstoppable. You will not see day and night. One will continue to read. So this is how interesting Srimad Bhagavatam is. It speaks about pure devotional service. Hare Krishna, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Okay, we'll break for questions. I hope I made sense. I hope everybody was able to understand.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the wonderful class.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Very blissful lecture, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. As always, you do this very nice, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. There is one question in the chat.
Okay.
The question is, who was the rishi who after end of Kalpa 1 year on body is lost? I don't understand.
Who was the
Who was the rishi who after end of Kalpa 1 year on body is lost? Abhijit Prabhuji, you can ask the question, maybe you're unable to understand.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
huh,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat.
huh.
Prabhuji, like I have heard, like one rishi was there, like he went in front of Indradev, and in the
Yeah, I
Indradev.
understood. Loma Rishi.
Uh,
Loma Rishi had unlimited hairs on his
Thank you,
body.
Prabhuji.
So every hair is equal to one kalpa. One kalpa he would live. So that many kalpas he would live. Brahma himself has only 36,000 kalpas, his lifespan. But Loma Rishi appears to be living more than one Brahma. Another Brahma comes, Loma Rishi continues to live. Because every kalpa is equal to one hair. One hair on his body. So he has unlimited hair on his body. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Any other questions?
Prabhu, I have one question.
Yes, Mataji. Oh, Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu. Nice class, Prabhu.
Hare
Prabhu,
Krishna.
you are telling, no, everyone they, like demons, everyone they used to merge with the Lord. They used to get a liberation. So after liberation, what they used to get, Prabhu? They used to get a eternal service with the Lord, or what they used to do after merging with the Lord?
Only uh, only favorable devotional service will give liberation in the spiritual world. There are five types of liberation:
Mm.
Sarupya, Sarshti, Samipya, Salokya, Sayujya.
Yeah.
Sayujya is impersonal liberation, the other four are personal liberation in the Vaikuntha planet. So ideally, Lord Krishna, when he kills a demon, they
Okay.
get liberation in the spiritual world. But when Lord Vishnu kills a demon, then that demon attains Sayujya Mukti. Sayujya Mukti means basically impersonal liberation. So there's a big science behind it. It's a very complicated science, because if demons are having unfavorable relationship with the Lord,
Mm.
how they can also be given the position of a devotee in the spiritual world? That question may
Mm.
come. So
Mm.
that is
Yes.
why, because the demons are unfavorable to the Lord, but the Lord is also merciful to everybody. That is the reason the Lord says, "Chalo, koi baat nahi. If not my spiritual kingdom, at least impersonal Brahma Jyoti, you will get liberation." So the Lord liberates demons like that, and that is only with the case of Vishnu. But when
Mm.
it comes to Krishna, Krishna is even more merciful, that even if somebody is unfavorable, then he gives them the position in the spiritual world. Ideally, this is like, Putana, Aghasura, Baka, or Kamsa, they all attained four-handed form in the spiritual world. So this is the science. But we should also know that in case of Jai Vijaya,
Mm.
they were devotees of the Supreme Lord when they came in this world as Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, Kumbhakarna, Shivpal. Yeah, they were liberated back to their original position as a devotee in the Vaikuntha planet. But every Kalpa of Brahma, it is not Jai Vijaya who come as demons, it is the regular demons of this world who come as Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, Kamsa, Ravana, Kumbhakarna, all these people.
Gandhavaka.
They
Mm.
are all regular demons of this world, and when they are killed by Vishnu, they get Sayujya Mukti. Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu in all the other kalpas, when they are killed, they get Sayujya Mukti. But this particular kalpa, Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, Kumbhakarna, Ravana, Shishupal, Dantavakra, they got Vaikuntha liberation because they were originally Jai Vijaya. They were already
Mm.
devotees.
Okay. Okay.
That way. I hope it clears. So there's little slight difference between Krishna and Vishnu also. Generally,
Mm.
Vishnu's killing gives the regular demons Sayuja Mukti. Vishnu's killing Jai Vijaya gives them Vaikuntha Mukti. Krishna's killing regular demons, some of them get Sayuja Mukti. Krishna's killing certain demons gives them Goloka Mukti also.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, what is Sayujya Mukti?
Sayuja is impersonal liberation, where one merges into the Jyoti, Brahma Jyoti. It is a light which is emanating from the body of the Supreme Lord. It is the boundary dividing the material sky and the spiritual sky. So they don't get the Vaikuntha planet, but they get the Brahma Jyoti. It is like light. You can see the light in my background. It will be like
Mm.
this.
Yes, Prabhu,
Boom,
like you only.
boom, merge into that. Yeah.
How much lifetime will be, Prabhu, when they go to Brahma Jyoti?
There's
Again, they
no.
have to come back, right?
No, no, they don't have to come back. It is a permanent liberation. Sayuja Mukti is a permanent liberation.
Okay.
The devotees and the demons, they are all put in the same service, Prabhuji.
No, I said demons get Sayuja Mukti, devotees get service in the spiritual world.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Or else there is no meaning for performing devotional service. If I am
Mm.
also,
Hmm.
demon also is going to Vaikuntha or
Yeah,
Goloka,
what's the difference?
what's the difference? So Lord discriminates. He says, all right, the demons will get Sayuja Mukti. The devotees will get Vaikuntha Mukti. But Krishna is special. Krishna, even for the unfavorable demons also, he gives them Goloka Mukti. There's something special about him.
So all the Putana, Trinavarta, everyone they went back, Prabhu, to Goloka.
Not all, some of them went to Goloka Vrindavan, like Aghasura, Putana, and Kamsa, and others, but not certain other demons. They got
Okay,
Sayuja Mukti. But they all got liberated. Yes.
okay. Jai. Thank you,
Thank you
Prabhu.
so much for the thank you
Hare,
so much for the wonderful class, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you
Thank
very
you so
much.
much for
Thank you, Prabhu.
enlightening us. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Pranams.
Dandavat Pranam. So we can close here.
Thank you,
Anything
Prabhu.
else, Pravir Prabhu?
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the wonderful class.
Thank you for coordinating very well adjusted presentation. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. And we have launched a poll. I request everyone to please fill the poll. Thank you so much, and see
Yeah.
you tomorrow.
Hare Krishna, Shagor Prabhu.
Hare Krishna
Thank
Prabhu.
you so much. It was a wonderful session. Hare Krishna to all the devotees. Few more minutes, I'll take few announcement. Thank you very much for joining the program. So I'm really very happy to see so many participants is enthusiastically participating. Please give your feedback. So far, how you felt, what can be improved. We are most happy to take couple of announcement. Tomorrow is Ekadasi. Don't miss tomorrow's class. Why? It is eighth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And also we're going to see Vamana Dwadasi is coming day after tomorrow. Then we'll be fasting for Vamana Ekadashi. So Vamana Dwadasi tomorrow in the Ekadasi. And it is very, very auspicious to hear 8th canto on that Ekadashi day. So we will be discussing about Gajendra Moksha, Vamana the Charitra. So it's very important. I request all of you, please get all of your family and friends. In Bhagavatam, it says that once you hear this Charita of Vamana, they'll go back to Krishna, Godhead. That is the Srutipala of hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam. Second thing is that those who don't have Bhagavatam, please get. Krishna comes in three forms in Kali Yuga. One is that he comes in the form of holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Second, he comes in the Acha Vigraha. You can go to the temple, Radha Krishna, you can worship. The third thing is coming in the Bhagavata Rupa. The advantage of Bhagavatam is anytime you can pick up and associate with Krishna, you can read. That is the advantage. If you have to go to temple, you have to get ready, take bath, then you have to go. Chanting, we may not have that much interest. Even though interest, we do it mechanically. But Bhagavatam is wonderful stories. What is stopping us to read? So every human being, somebody says, I'm human being. Veda says that you should have Bhagavatam in your house. If you don't have Bhagavatam in your house, then you can't even call it as a house. Bhavan means the Lord should be there. Where is the Lord? Lord comes in the form of Bhagavatam. If you keep Bhagavatam in your house, all the Devatas, they come and pay obeisance at your house. You don't know, you can't see them. But every day Devatas will come. Every day you start reading, hearing Bhagavatam. So many rishis and all the Devatas, they come and hear Bhagavatam. Wherever Bhagavatam happens, everybody will be there. Your house will become auspicious. Don't worry about the money. Lakshmi will reside permanently because Krishna has to reside means Lakshmi has to reside. So Krishna is he will choose which house to go. It is not possible that you get the Bhagavatam. Krishna and Prabhupada mercy, they decide which house I want to go. So if you are Bhagyavan, definitely you can take Bhagavatam and keep it in your house. Generally, it will cost each book 18 volumes are there, it is 12 cantos. Even one book 1000 rupees, it is 18,000 rupees. But BPT has invested so much money, it has to reach out every people, 18,000, nobody will buy. They're giving it in 9,000. But today, for this Bhagavata Saptha, we have pooled our money. We are working. See, still I'm talking from the office. We are all working. So we pooled some money. We want to give people. We want to reach many people. Today we are giving Kannada Bhagavatam at 7,000 rupees, English at 8,000 rupees. Otherwise, original price is 10,000 or 9,000 rupees. But we have slashed a lot of money. And second aspect is you can take it in installment. Our objective is that to reach Srimad Bhagavatam. Second, teach about it. It's not that we just distribute books. Prati Divsa, every day we discuss about Bhagavatam. We have different groups, English groups, Kannada groups, morning group, evening groups. And this 18,000 shlokas every day we read. There is no end to learning Bhagavatam. You can't say I have learned Bhagavatam in 1 year. It is a lifelong process. So we also help you with everyday sessions also. End of the session, end of the course, we will be providing the contact details where which group you can join. So that it will be a learning journey. Every day you can join, you can take the books in every shloka you can read. Especially tomorrow is Ekadasi. I request those who don't have Bhagavatam, please post your number in the chat number. Also, we'll facilitate with the installment as well. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about the money because even if mobile breaks, the screen changes it like 4,000 rupees. If you want to put petrol per office, 1 month you have to spend 8,000 rupees, 9,000 rupees. If you even go for a marriage, not less than 3 4,000 rupees, you can go with the family and come back. So we are giving it just 7,000 rupees so that there is a commitment to cover little bit of the printing cost. We are requesting. It's our humble request. If you have already, Prabhu, I have already, please give it to others. Donate others, especially Bhadra Purnima is coming. September 7th, Bhagavatam says that anybody who gives this, donate this, they will get Krishna's blessing. So definitely we request all of you to enthusiastically take this Bhagavatam, preach others, and also attend our regular class. Our session is not ending after 6 days. Bhagavata Saptaha is not ending after 7 days. We will continue to provide. Like yesterday, we have told cosmology, we are giving in the temple, we have organized a 3 day seminar. You can come and join and explore fifth canto. And every day, Prabhu Ashok Gaur Prabhu is in our group is taking weekly one. So every day you will get this speakers association to realize and learn this journey. I humbly request all of you to take this Bhagavatam and please feel free to ask any questions you have and also one or two feedbacks about this program. How you felt it, what we can improve, that will be really appreciated. And for your information, yesterday 6 books Bhagavatam has been distributed. Today six, counting more, 6 Bhagavatam sets has been approved, and there are 4 or 5 Bhagavatam people today inquired in the Kannada group. They are eagerly to get this Bhagavatam. So everybody is just grabbing the Bhagavatam, and we have limited because we invested our money. We will also have limitation as to how much we can invest and give it a discount price. Once our discount is over, the amount is over, then we will bring it to the original price. So first come, first service, we will try to do. Don't worry, installment also will help you out. So please post your number immediately in the chat. And anything else you want to add, Ashok or Prabhu, you can do.
No, perfect. So my request is everybody please take Bhagavatam, and once you start reading it, I will tell you it will simply attract you, and that is a way to take shelter of the Supreme Lord. And we are always there to have regular classes every day, and we'll be there to guide. So take shelter of Bhagavatam, then make your life successful because in this age of Kali Yuga, the Lord has appeared in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. So what more, Bhagavatam is ready, it's available, and we are asking you to take it. So don't miss this opportunity. That's
Think
it.
that you went for a restaurant, you had a meal with the family, that's all. This Bhagavatam is so
Yeah,
cheap. You can go for a meal, less than 3 4,000 rupees, you will not get it.
right.
And definitely Krishna is there in the house. He will ensure that there is no difficulty for the money because he is there. Wherever Krishna is there, he would take care. So don't even think twice. Have this opportunity. And yes, thank you very much. I'm really happy this enthusiasm. How many of you attending first time? How many of you first time you're attending? Prabhu, we never attended Bhagavata Saptah. How many of you? Anybody is there here? Can unmute and speak? Because a person who is new, actually, he'll be able to tell how he is understood how it is going. When and where is a 3 day seminar? Sindhu Mataji, we have posted yesterday. I'll post, we will post it. We'll keep you posted. Please, everybody needs to be either in the English or Kannada Bhagavata Sapta group. That's where we can communicate. It's very difficult. You might miss out many communications. It's a throat ear connection for us. So please, if those who are not joined, anybody in the WhatsApp group, please join so that you'll get information. Otherwise, it's very difficult to reach out individually. Gandharvika Gopi Devidasi says, wonderful class. Remembered Mahavata Nrsimha movie. Thank you, Prabhuji. Wonderful. Anybody is new, Sindhu Mataji will keep you posted. I will ask the admin to post. I don't have it handy, but I think Rajesh Prabhu is posting. Um, Anybody else quickly? I think yes, Prabhu has posted the seminar. You can register. It is very technical. Um, yeah, but it's going to be a wonderful seminar like that. Anybody who has attended for first time? Yesterday, I've been told 6, 7 people you said who are attending first time. Okay. If there are no questions, we can wind up. Thank you very much. Please post it in the WhatsApp group. Yes, we will do, Savita Mataj. We'll definitely do it. But nobody's talking about the feedback. At least one person, can I call out? Is it okay? Can I call out and or if you will unmute and speak?
Hare
Shilpa
Krishna Prabhu, Dandvat Pranam Prabhu.
Yes, Dandavats Pranam.
So, Ashok Gaurav Prabhu, the way he told, it was so, the sequential, we have gone through earlier, but today, one day, one canto, the way it went on, like spellbounding. I never knew how the time went. It is very wonderful, Prabhu. There is no corrections needed. The same standard, if it is kept up, it is wonderful, Prabhu. Danvat Pranam, Ashok Gaur Prabhu, Danvat Pranam.
And by the
Gaur
way,
Chandu. Hare
Mataji has
Krishna.
inspired and distributed to Bhagavatam set. She reached out, even though she is in US, she's taken time, odd time to attend, and also she helped me to distribute to Bhagavatam sets. A big Haribol to her. Thank you, Mataji.
Jai Hari
All
Bol.
glories. All